Yo, what's up, y'all? It's your girl Cassie, and today's story is about to shake the whole rap game to its core. I'm talking betrayal, humiliation, street politics, and the fall of one of the biggest names in hip hop history. Because word on the streets, from Toronto to Compton, is that Drake. Yeah. Aubrey the Sixth, God Graham himself, just became the greatest loser of all time. And to make it even wilder, Kendrick Lamar has allegedly banned him from LA for life. Now, before you roll your eyes, thinking this is another rap beef headline, let me tell you this one's different. This time, it's not about diss tracks or subtle Instagram shade. This time, it's personal. Sources close to this situation are saying Drake's latest stunt went to far-crossing lines that even Hollywood's wildest drama couldn't script. Word is, Kendrick felt so disrespected that he made real calls to make sure Drake would never step foot in Los Angeles again without serious consequences. And y'all, fans are losing it. Social media is on fire. The memes are ruthless. The comments are brutal. People are saying this might be the end of Drake's era. Some are even calling it the fall of the certified lover boy. Imagine that. The man who once ruled charts, clubs, and hearts, now getting turned away at the gates of the city that built modern rap culture. But how did it come to this? What did Drake really do? And how did Kendrick, usually calm and private, reach his boiling point? Because trust me, when I tell you what went down behind closed doors, y'all gonna realize this isn't just rap beef. It's revenge, betrayal, and maybe even karma. Stay tuned because it's about to get messy. All right, so picture this. It's a calm night in Toronto, the kind of cold that makes the city lights shimmer a little harder, and Drake is in his studio. Sipping something light, surrounded by his crew. Everything seems cool. He's got a new album in the works. He's teasing something cryptic on his Instagram stories, and the internet is buzzing. Fans are guessing it's another surprise drop. Some say it's a collaboration. Others whisper it's a diss track aimed straight at Kendrick Lamar. And that's where the storm really begins. Behind the scenes, things have been tense for months. Sources close to OVO have been saying Drake's been feeling cornered. Kendrick's latest verse, that one everyone keeps quoting, hit harder than most people realized. Not only did it send waves through the industry, it apparently struck a nerve with Drake himself. See, Drake's always been calculated with his responses. He doesn't explode. He plots. And this time, the word is, he had a plan to get even one night. A mysterious clip leaks. It's Drake in the studio, laughing, saying something about the king of law ain't no king at all. The internet catches it, spins it, and before sunrise, Twitter, Threads, and TikTok are in chaos. Fans are choosing sides and the energy is getting dark. People in LA are posting videos saying Drake better not show up there without security. Memes of Kendrick wearing a crown start circulating again. It feels playful at first, till someone from Kendrick's camp speaks out. A producer who's worked closely with Teed posts on his story, "Respect where you at." Some cities got rules. He deletes it minutes later, but that's all it takes. The blogs go crazy. Everyone's dissecting it, tagging Drake, tagging Kendrick, trying to get a reaction. By the next morning, there's a rumor floating that Kendrick made some real calls that he told certain people Drake's no longer welcome in law. Some dismiss it as internet hype. Others start believing it's true. And then there's the call. Insiders say Drake got a direct call from someone very close to Kendrick. Not Kendrick himself, but someone heavy in the law scene. The conversation allegedly wasn't friendly. One source described it as a warning disguised as advice. Supposedly, the voice on the other end said, "You had a good run, but this city's not yours. Keep your distance." That's when Drake's tone changed. Instead of being quiet, he leaned in. He started posting cryptic captions against stuff like "Can't ban the boy" and "I move how legends move." The fans went wild, thinking he was challenging Kendrick publicly. But his inner circle? They were nervous. One OVO member was overheard saying, "Man, we don't need that West Coast smoke. Not everything's about clout." Drake reportedly ignored it. He felt disrespected, embarrassed even. And when Drake feels slighted, he doesn't just react, he performs. Fast forward to a high-profile party in Beverly Hills. One of those exclusive ones where everyone's either famous or trying to be. Drake shows up unannounced. Cameras flash. Whispers start. People are like, wait, didn't Kendrick's people say he's banned from LA? The tension in the room is thick. And then, like something straight out of a movie, someone from Kendrick's extended circle walks in. A known face in the industry, not violent, but respected. They spot Drake, lock eyes, and the energy drops to zero. Drake plays it cool, flashing that trademark smile. But insiders say you could feel the chill. A few people left the party early, not wanting to be caught in anything. The next morning, blogs post headlines like Drake defies Kendrick's ban and OVO versus TDE heating up again. Kendrick stays silent, of course. He doesn't need to tweet. His silence says everything. Meanwhile, back in Toronto, Drake's team is divided. Some say he should lay low, let things pass. Others say he should double down, drop a track, make it cinematic. His engineer leaks that Drake's been recording nonstop and that he's got something nuclear lined up. Fans start speculating, could this be another back-to-back moment? But Kendrick's side isn't sitting still either. Rumors swirl that he's working on a short film, something deeply personal. Something that'll address everything without saying names. The idea alone sends the internet into another frenzy. Think pieces pop up overnight about art versus ego, the fall of humility in hip-hop, and what happens when legends clash. By now, it's not just about music. It's about pride, legacy, and street politics. Everyone's talking, but no one's sure who's really running the show. The fans are split, memes are everywhere. And hip-hop feels like it's on the edge of a cultural earthquake. Then, one evening, Drake does something no one expected. He goes live. No album drop, no promo, just him sitting in his studio with dim lights, sipping from a cup, eyes low. At first, he's quiet. People flood the chat with comments, begging for answers. Finally, he says, "You can't ban a man from a city he helped put on the map." The internet loses its mind. Some fans cheer, calling it iconic. Others say it's desperate. But one thing's for sure, Kendrick hears it. That same night, someone from Kendrick's verified circle posts a black screen on their story with just one line. It's already done. Nobody knows what that means. But the tension skyrockets. Drake's mom, always supportive, reportedly calls him, telling him to be careful. Even his closest friends like Noah 40 Shabib are said to be uneasy. The vibe inside OVO's camp shifts from confident to cautious. One person close to the crew tells a blogger, "It's not about rap anymore. It's about respect." The industry watches quietly, unsure which way it'll go. And then just when it seems like it might calm down, something new surfaces. A video, short but shocking, starts spreading on Reddit and then everywhere. It's grainy footage of Drake walking through what looks like a Los Angeles parking garage, being stopped by a group of guys. The sound's muffled, but you can make out one voice saying, "We told you not to come here." Within hours, it's everywhere, trending on every platform. Fans can't tell if it's real or staged. Some say it's an old clip. Others insist it happened last week. OVO denies it immediately, but the damage is done. Drake's pride takes another hit, and suddenly, the internet's calling him the greatest loser of all time. And that's where the real story starts to spiral. Because what happens next will shake both their worlds even harder. Drake's not done fighting. Kendrick's not backing down. And it's about to draw its line in the sand. The internet is melting down over that blurry parking garage video. Timelines are flooded with speculation. Some fans are defending Drake, saying the clip's fake, edited, or just another setup to make him look bad. But others, they're convinced it's proof that the ban is real, that Drake actually got pressed in LA. And that Kendrick's people are the reason. And the craziest part? Kendrick still hasn't said a single word. No tweets, no stories, no subliminal. His silence is louder than any diss track, and it's driving Drake wild. Insiders close to OVO start whispering that Drake feels cornered, humiliated, and ready to remind everybody who runs the charts. One producer even tells a podcast, "Drake's about to make the world stop again." When he gets emotional, that's when he's the most dangerous. A few days later, Drake flies back to Toronto. Paparazzi catch him at the airport wearing all black hoodie up, headphones in. People online say he looks focused and cold. Word gets around that he's locked himself in the studio again. 40's in there, a few close friends, and no outside distractions. No women, no hangers-on, no parties. They say the energy feels like 2015 again, like when he was making back-to-back. Only this time, it's personal. But Kendrick, he's in Compton, unbothered. Spotted at a youth charity event, shaking hands, smiling, surrounded by kids. Reporters try to ask him about Drake, and he just laughs it off, saying, "We spreading love out here." That's it. But one clip goes viral. He looks straight into the camera and says, "Some people forget we're their guests." It's short, casual, but everyone online takes it as confirmation. The Laban is real, and Kendrick just co-signed it without breaking a sweat. Drake's fans explode. They start flooding Kendrick's comments, calling him petty. Teed fans clap back, saying Drake should have stayed humble. Even other rappers start picking sides, some quietly, others publicly. A few underground artists from La Post stories saying, "Kendrick speaks for the city." And in a move nobody saw coming, one of Drake's former collaborators, someone he once put on, starts tweeting cryptic messages like, "Never bite the hand that introduced you to the coast." Things start getting uglier. One night, Drake's longtime photographer posts a story showing police cars parked outside Drake's La Mansion. The caption just says, "They watching." Nobody knows what it means, but conspiracy theories spread fast. Fans start claiming that Drake's security had a run-in with some local guys trying to send a message. Others think it's all marketing, part of a bigger rollout for his new music. But deep down, even the most loyal fans can sense something's off. Meanwhile, Drake starts making calls of his own. He's got friends everywhere: Atlanta, Miami, London, and, word is, he's trying to shift the narrative. People say he's planning a victory run, set of surprise shows around the world to remind everyone that he's still the global face of rap. But the moment someone suggests adding law to the list, Drake reportedly says, "Nah, we're good on that." The tension spills into the media. Say Cheese posts a clip saying, "Kendrick's silence is killing Drake's image." Another blog runs a headline, "Ovo versus Teed, who really runs the game?" Every time Drake posts anything, an emoji, a selfie, even a story of him in the studio, people flood the comments with ban from law jokes. The memes get relentless. One viral video shows a fake CAS agent saying, "Welcome to La Scro. Wait, you can't come in." It racks up millions of views overnight. Then, out of nowhere, Drake drops a snippet on his Instagram story. Just a few bars, but enough to make the internet go feral. "You banned me from a city I helped you dream in. Still, I'm the one your idols keep streaming." Fans lose their minds. Everyone starts dissecting it line by line. Some say it's weak. Others call it a setup for the kill shot. Blogs go into overdrive again, claiming the full track is coming within days. Kendrick doesn't react publicly, but people around him start moving differently. One of his close producers posts a beat video with the caption, "Don't poke the quiet ones." Another member of Teed tweets, "We've seen this movie before and it don't end well for the actor." By now, the energy in the industry feels split. People start comparing it to the old Drake and Meek Mill situation, but this time, there's no easy fix. This isn't about clout anymore, it's about credibility. And credibility in law, that sacred dot. Then the story takes another wild twist. A video surfaces of Drake's security team allegedly clashing with paparazzi outside a Los Angeles club. The clip shows Drake's car surrounded, flashes popping everywhere, and a voice yelling, "You're not supposed to be here." The camera shakes, someone curses, and the video cuts out. Within an hour, it's trending worldwide. Ovo tries to spin it, saying Drake wasn't even there. But fans start piecing together evidence: a chain, a jacket, the same car model, and it starts to look real. Kendrick's fans pounce. calling it proof that Drake can't resist breaking the rules. One popular meme shows a cartoon Drake sneaking past a "Welcome to Law" sign while Kendrick's silhouette watches from the hills. It's petty, it's funny, and it completely takes over the culture for a week behind the scenes. Though Drake's people are stressed. Insiders say meetings get heated. 40 allegedly tells him this isn't about music anymore. They're trying to clown you. Every move you make. They twist it. Drake fires back, saying, "Then we give them something they can't twist." He's got that determined look the one fans recognize from every comeback. And that's when rumors start about a full-on diss project. Not a single song, but a whole short album aimed at Kendrick. People in the industry claim they've heard snippets Drake talking slick about Compton, about loyalty, about how real ones don't hide behind silence. Even though nobody's heard the full thing, the internet runs with it. Kendrick fans call it career suicide. OVO fans call it legacy-defining dot. But Kendrick's camp, they're too calm. One night, Kendrick is spotted leaving a studio in Law. Paparazzi ask him about the supposed diss, and he smiles, looks straight at the camera, and says, "I already told you it's done." The clip goes viral instantly. People start speculating that Kendrick has something in the vaults, something big, something that might end this entire saga before Drake even drops dot by the end of the week. Hip-hop feels like it's holding its breath. Fans are glued to their phones, waiting for someone to make the next move. Industry insiders say Drake's team has booked out a massive video production set in Toronto. The streets are talking, the blogs are hungry. And everyone knows the next chapter's coming fast. Because at this point, it's not just a feud anymore. It's ego versus legacy, pride versus principle. And both men are about to make their biggest moves yet, moves that could crown one as the king and leave the other as the greatest loser of all time. Drake, back in Toronto. The world watching and hip-hop hanging on every rumor. It's late night, the city skyline glowing outside his condo windows, and Drake is pacing the floor, phone in hand. 40 sits by the computer, headphones around his neck, waiting for the next line. The atmosphere is thick, like something heavy is about to happen. Sources close to the studio say Drake's been recording non-stop for days, barely sleeping. His voice is raw, his energy locked in. The walls are covered with scribbled lyrics, ideas, and crossed-out phrases. Every track he records hits harder, more personal, more venomous. The man who built his career on calculated cool is now bleeding frustration into the mic. People around him describe it as a creative meltdown mixed with genius. Outside that studio, the world is talking. Law radio hosts are debating whether Drake will ever set foot in the city again. One DJ says if that ban is real, it's the first time we've seen a global superstar actually lose street access. Another responds, "Nah, Drake's too big to be banned from anywhere. This is politics disguised as pride." Meanwhile, Kendrick stays silent. Fans notice that he hasn't been online for days, not even to promote his projects. But then, out of nowhere, he's seen at a local Los Angeles basketball game, courtside, smiling, laughing, completely unbothered. The camera pans to him, the crowd cheers, and the announcer says, "Compton's own, Kendrick Lamar." That clip goes viral too. People post side-by-sides Kendrick and Law, glowing, peaceful. Drake in Toronto, in the dark, plotting. It's the perfect visual for the ongoing narrative. The next morning, Drake finally breaks the internet again. A link appears on his story, no caption, no title, just a black screen with a sound wave. Fans click, and it's a surprise drop. An entire EP titled Uninvited Guest. 6 songs, all bars, no features. From the very first track, it's clear who it's aimed at. Lines like "You banned me from the West," "I'm global now," "City of Angels still play my sound" hit heavy. Another track ends with him saying, "They tried to close doors, I built skyscrapers instead." Fans go insane. OVO supporters flood the comments, calling it a masterpiece. Critics say it's his best lyrical work in years. But not everyone's impressed. West Coast rappers start tweeting cryptic reactions. One writes, That boy forgot where respect starts. Another says you can stream the music, but you can't buy your way into a city. The culture splits again. Then Kendrick's quiet energy shifts. A few days later, at midnight, he uploads something to YouTube, no promotion. No warning, just a short film called Guest List. It's not a diss track. It's art, cinematic, symbolic, and haunting. It tells the story of a man who rises to fame by copying everyone around him, only to find that when he tries to go home, no one recognizes him anymore. The visuals are powerful shots of closed gates, empty arenas, and a man standing alone under bright lights. There's a moment in the film where a voice whispers, "You can't ban someone who never belonged." Fans lose their minds. Everyone knows it's about Drake. The symbolism, the timing, the title, it's too perfect. The internet floods with reactions. One tweet with 1 million likes reads, "Kendrick just ended a man's career without saying his name once." Drake sees it, of course. Insiders say he watches the video on repeat, face unreadable. A friend from the camp claims he muttered, "He's playing chess, but I taught him checkmate." Within hours, Drake posts on the message, "La, see you soon." Posts on the message, "La, see you soon." And just like that, rumors explode that he's planning to show up in Los Angeles for a secret event. OVO insiders claim he's setting up an exclusive pop-up concert invite, limited to his closest collaborators and select influencers. The internet loses it. Hashtag start trending. Hashtag Drake returns. Hashtag Ladrima. Hashtag OVOVs. TDE.Kendrick. Single quotes S team doesn't comment. But a mysterious tweet goes up from a known law promoter. Some stages ain't safe for certain performers. It's deleted 5 minutes later, but screenshots are everywhere. People start speculating, will Kendrick show up? Will there be tension? Security concerns. A week later, the night arrives. Drake lands in Los Angeles quietly, under tight protection. Black vans, tinted windows, the works. He's not there for a concert, at least, not at first. Sources say he's meeting with big names in the music industry to discuss clearing the air. But word leaks, and soon fans start gathering outside the rumored venue. By nightfall, it's chaos, hundreds of people, cameras flashing, everyone waiting for a glimpse. Drake walks in wearing a plain white tee, diamond chain glinting under the streetlights. The crowd goes wild. People chant his name, but the energy feels strange, part excitement, part tension. Reporters shout questions about the ban. Drake just smirks and says, "Look where I'm standing." But what happens next flips everything. Halfway through the night, as Drake gets on stage to perform, the screen behind him glitches and a clip from Kendrick's Guest List film starts playing. The crowd gasps. The projection shows the shadow of a man standing in front of locked gates. For a split second, everyone thinks it's part of the show, but the audio cuts out and the lights flicker. Drake looks up, frowning. Security rushes around. The screen goes black. Drake takes the mic and says, "Y'all playing games? But I'm still here." His crowd cheers, but behind the scenes, OVO staff are scrambling to figure out how the footage got hacked into the show's system. Later, a tweet appears from a verified law-based filmmaker. Consider it poetic justice. By morning, social media is chaos again. Videos of the glitch spread everywhere, with captions like "Kendrick's ghost haunts Drake's Law Show." Drake's team denies involvement from TDE, but fans aren't buying it. It's the talk of every podcast, every radio show, every group chat. People start saying maybe this feud isn't about beef anymore, it's about symbolism, legacy. Who defines the culture? Kendrick finally posts something again. Just a simple image, his hometown street sign captioned, "Respect the soil." No names, no explanations, but everyone knows what it means. Drake, meanwhile, drops another line in an interview the next day. When asked about the tension, he says, "You can't ban me from a city that loves my sound. People talk, but the numbers don't lie." The interviewer presses about Kendrick, and Drake just smiles and says, "He's great. I'm greater." The clip goes viral again, sparking another explosion online. Hip-hop purists argue about who's the real king. Fans turn the feud into a cultural war. Music journalists start calling it the biggest modern rivalry since Tupac and Biggie. Everyone's waiting to see who will drop the final blow, and trust me, what happens next will leave the entire rap world speechless. Because the story doesn't end with a diss track or an interview. It ends with something no one could have predicted. Starts the morning after Drake's chaotic La pop-up. The internet hasn't slept. Blogs are buzzing. Fan pages are dissecting every second of that hacked screen moment. And hip-hop podcasts are calling it the night the West reminded Drake whose turf it was. People keep asking, how did Kendrick's imagery end up projected behind Drake's stage? OVO techs swear they were hacked, but some insiders whisper that one of the local stagehands was quietly connected to Kendrick's circle. Nothing's proven, but the rumor fits too neatly to die. Drake wakes up late, phone lighting up with missed calls, 40's already pacing. His publicist's voice is shaking on speaker. We can't control this narrative anymore. Drake sits silent, scrolling through headlines. One reads, Drake's Law Show turns into Kendrick's theater. Another says, the certified lover boy just got ghosted by the City of Angels. You can almost see the frustrations simmering under his calm. He finally mutters, they think I'm a joke now. That afternoon, he vanishes from social media. No stories, no posts, no sightings. Tabloids spin it into Drake in hiding. A few loyal fans start the hashtag Bring Drake Home, posting old clips of him laughing, smiling, the golden era stuff. But inside his Toronto mansion, the mood is far from golden. A friend later tells a reporter he looked like a man realizing the internet can strip everything from your respect, pride, identity in a weekend. Then, out of nowhere, Kendrick breaks the silence with a surprise radio freestyle in Los Angeles. No promo, just raw bars broadcast live from a local station. He never says Drake's name, but every line cuts close. You wrote love songs to cities you don't love. You bought the view, but not the trust. The studio crowd reacts instantly. Clips flood TikTok. Even people who weren't following the feud start chiming in. Hip-hop legends tweet things like that's how you remind the world who runs the coast. By evening, Drake's team meets again. 40 suggests dropping a calm, mature statement, something about brotherhood and art. Another manager says, nah, let's feed the beast. Give them the monster they want. But Drake just shakes his head. He's quiet for a long minute, then says, no more words. Let's make a moment they can't meme. The next morning, cameras spot a black private jet landing at LAX. No logos, no crew. Within hours, blurry photos of Drake stepping out hit the net. Everyone thinks it's fake at first, but then TMZ confirms it's him. He's back in LA again, the city he's supposedly banned from. Only this time, there's no entourage, no security flex, no flashy outfit. Just Drake in plain clothes, walking straight into a studio in South Central. Fans start camping outside, hoping for news. Local reporters gather, and by evening, rumors explode that he's inside with some West Coast Legends people, respected by both sides. Snoop, Dre, a few others. It feels like the hip-hop gods decided to step in before things spiral further. One producer posts a cryptic story. Sometimes peace comes with bass lines. Hours pass. Then, close to midnight, Drake walks out, smiling for the first time in weeks. No words, just a peace sign to the cameras. Kendrick posts a single emoji that same night, 2 hands shaking. That's it. No caption. The internet freezes. Fans start piecing it together. Drake and Kendrick have apparently talked face to face. No press, no middleman. A quiet meeting arranged by legends who've seen too many feuds end badly. The next few days, the energy shifts. Headlines turn from mockery to speculation. Is the war over? Did Drake and Kendrick finally squash it? Neither confirms anything, but 1 week later, a new track drops out of nowhere. It's called Two Kings. It's not a diss. It's not a collabs, a short, soulful piece of spoken word layered over jazz drums. The credits list both Drake and Kendrick as writers, but neither of them speaks on it publicly. The lyrics talk about fame, pride, and the cost of chasing validation. One line hits hard. "We fought for the crown till we realized it was just a mirror." Fans cry. Blogs celebrate it as the most mature closure hip-hop's seen in years. Some conspiracy theorists still insist the beef was staged, a publicity stunt too perfect to be real. Others say it was real pain turned into real art. But one thing's clear: the moment changes the narrative. Drake's no longer the loser. He's the man who faced humiliation and turned it into a lesson. Kendrick's no longer just the gatekeeper of law. He's the artist who reminded everyone that power doesn't need to shout. Still, whispers linger. A few anonymous insiders claim the ban is technically still in effect in certain circles. That some law clubs quietly agreed never to host Drake events again. Others say it's symbolic, an unspoken rule that reminds Drake of boundaries. And when a reporter asks Kendrick months later if he'd ever lift that ban, he smiles and says, "Ain't no ban when a man understands respect." Meanwhile, Drake channels the chaos into his next album. He doesn't name names, but fans catch the tone. It's reflective, darker, wiser. Critics call it the redemption record. During a concert in London, he pauses between songs and tells the crowd, "Sometimes you gotta lose everything to realize what winning really is." The audience roars. Sensing the reference. In Los Angeles, murals of both artists start appearing side by side. One shows Drake's owl and Kendrick's crown intertwined. Local artists say it's about unity, growth, legacy. Hip-hop fans from both sides come together in comment sections, quoting their favorite lines instead of comparing numbers, and while the media tries to spin more angles about who won or lost, the streets quietly move on. The story becomes myth, the kind that future rappers will reference when they talk about ego and evolution. Remember when Drake got banned from LA? They'll say, half laughing, half serious. Because the truth's somewhere in between. In the end, both artists walk away bigger, not smaller. Drake proves resilience, Kendrick proves control. And hip-hop learns something it rarely admits. Sometimes losing in public is the real path to greatness. Losing in public is the real path to greatness. And just like that, the saga of the greatest loser of all time ends not with defeat, but transformation. Drake didn't just get banned. He got rebuilt. Kendrick didn't just ban a man. He set a boundary. And the city of Los Angeles. It stayed what it always was, the heart of the game, the stage where legends clash, fall, and rise again. Fans still debate it in comment sections. Podcasts still milk it for clicks. And YouTube channels still upload unseen footage every few weeks. But deep down, everyone knows the truth. That night, Drake stood back in law. Uninvited but unbroken was the night hip-hop itself grew up a little, and that's where it all lands: the fall. The feud, the forgiveness, two kings, one lesson. And a story the internet will never let die. And that right there, y'all, is how one of the wildest chapters in hip-hop history came to a close. Or maybe, just maybe, it's not over yet. Because if there's one thing we've learned about Drake and Kendrick, it's that both of them move in silence until the timing's perfect. One moment they're shaking hands, the next they're shaking the culture. Fans keep asking, was the peace real or just a truce before round two? Only time will tell. Think about Drake. Came back from being clowned worldwide, from losing his city passes, from being called the greatest loser of all time, and somehow flipped that energy into a legacy moment. Kendrick, on the other hand, showed the world that real power doesn't come from shouting the loudest, comes from letting your silence echo. So maybe both of them won. Or maybe, in a world where clout means everything, the real winner is the one who doesn't need to prove a thing. But what do you think? Was Kendrick right to ban Drake from LA? Did Drake deserve the backlash? Or was he just misunderstood? And most importantly, do you think the two kings will ever truly collaborate again? Or was Two Kings just a symbolic goodbye? Drop your thoughts below, because we want to hear it straight from Why Single Quotes All. And if you've been vibing with this breakdown, make sure you hit that like button right now, subscribe to the channel, And turn those notifications on so you never miss another deep dive into the chaos, the culture, and the crazy behind-the-scenes world of rap. Trust me, the next story we got lined up is even wilder. Stay tuned, stay locked in, and as always, keep your ears to the streets, 'cause in hip-hop, truth moves fast. But rumors move faster, faster.